I fear my camera doesn't want to cooperate with me. I don't know what it is about this world, but it makes like the avatar shading look a lot better, and it makes my videos look just a tiny bit better. So I'm gonna take it. Welcome people to another VRC video. Today we're gonna be discussing about FBT once again. Now I made a video as to whether FBT was worth it like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know. It was light years ago. Did I answer it? Kind of. But at this point, if you want to know if FPT is worth it or not, if you got the money, yes. If you're into VR enough, yes. If you really just play VRChat, that's fine too, because most games don't really support FPT as much as VRC does. So yeah. Now that that's out of the way, I wanted to talk about my experience with having FPT for about 5 years now. Now I bought 3.0 trackers all those years ago, and to be honest, dude, I've had a blast with them. The only issue that I've had, and this is, I think this is my fault, is because they tend to disconnect and bounce between each connections, between the three that I have. I think that just has to go with where the little, they're like the little cubes that connect to the USB. I tend to mess around with those a lot just because I try to get them to charge all at once, and it just becomes an issue. But in terms of the actual performance of the 3.0 trackers, I would say they are probably the best things that you can get that maybe aren't that cheap, no, but aren't as expensive as a lot of the tracker and VR related stuff is. If you want like a comparison between the other trackers that are cheaper or more expensive or the other Vive products, I can't really give you that. There's actually a shit ton of videos that cover VR related products. I'm just gonna give you the base honesty of how this product itself, since I've bought them, have treated me. And again, in terms of the performance of the tracker itself, it's pretty good. Back then, there used to be this thing where if you were to kind of make any sudden movements with your legs, they would jitter a lot. And over time, it looks like VRChat itself has kind of improved on that, because you don't really see the jitters a lot or the sort of staticky movement across the whole body that ends up kind of ruining the tracking of the character itself, which kind of takes away from the immersion. But over time, plus the ability of the tracker itself and VRChat's constant upgrades, it honestly looks a lot better than it did. I mean, for just regular walking, for I guess quicker movements and stuff like that, if you want to, I don't know, dance or anything, it looks pretty good. And I think it can only get better just because, I mean, again, VRChat is an evolving game. And the trackers, for what their capabilities are, have kept up with today's market with all the other stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. What these will provide is what I think you're looking for when it comes to the full body experience. What I mean by that is, if you want smooth motion and if you want good tracking, these 3.0s will most likely provide it. Is there cheaper options? Yes. Can I vouch for them? I can't, because I don't know. And the more expensive ones, again, if you have the money for it, go crazy. Now, apart from how it looks, I know that was a very brief demonstration of the tracking itself, but there's one thing that I think VR products in general must have that I think the 3.0 does very well, is structural integrity. Why? Because, well, you can't see when you're in VR. You can walk this way and you're going to bump a wall, or you can walk that way and trip over your pet. Hopefully you don't do that, but you're going to trip or stumble over something, or worse, you're going to end up destroying your controllers by a sudden motion against something else, or your trackers are going to hit something and they're probably going to get damaged. In the 5 years, let me tell you, in the 5 years that I've had these things, I cannot tell you how many times I've accidentally rammed these 3.0s against like the leg of the desk or the frame of my bed or some kind of counter. It's been bad. I've sat on them, I've laid on them on accident, I've accidentally dropped them, I've accidentally thrown them. It's all happened. And let me tell you, the product itself, the hardware, it's all still in one piece. It's still screwed on to the belt strap that I bought ages ago, and it's all still functioning even after all that experience. That being said, do not stress test unless you were really wanting to stress test your stuff, because most likely it will break. I'm not saying these things are indestructible, but damn, with me at least, it seems like they've been a pretty good asset to my experience. I think that's pretty much it though. I think that's the gist of it all. Good trackers, good company. Vive has been providing tracking. They've been providing better tracking, face tracking, and you know, at some point they're gonna provide a fucking way for you to smell shit in VR. So awesome. I think Vive is a pretty trustable company for as far as I know. I think they were like par on par with Oculus when this whole thing first released, if I remember correctly, like back in 2018. But yeah, people, that'll pretty much cover the topic for today. I recommend the trackers. It's a good product, and they do what you're looking for them to do. So yeah, bye now. Bye. Whoopsh.